This Tony Award-winning actress is back on Broadway. Her stage credits include To Kill a Mockingbird, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and Les Miserables, of course.
Yeah, her newest show, Mother Play, currently in previews, is days away from opening, and she is here with a sneak peek. So please welcome Celia Keenan-Bolger. Thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
We almost feel unworthy, to be honest.
Gosh.
I mean, you won a Tony Award for To Kill a Mockingbird.
Fantastic.
But you were also nominated for 3 other times. The Glass Menagerie, Peter and the Starcatcher, and the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa, wow. What a career you've had.
I've been so lucky. I think, you know, when I graduated from college, I studied musical theater, and I thought, like, if I could just be a working actor and not have a day job, like, that would really mean so much to me. And the fact that I've not only been able to do that, but that I've also gotten recognition for my work, I feel, you know, it's a really lucky position to be in.
Well, you shine. I've seen you in most of those things, and you shine. And this is next on the list, A Mother's Play here, right? So tell us a little bit about that show.
Oh, it's a new play by Paula Vogel, who I think is one of our great American playwrights. I've been a huge fan of hers for a really long time, and it's an autobiographical story of Paula's life, growing up in Washington, D.C., and her relationship with her mother and her brother. Her dad walked out on them when she was about 12, and so we sort of meet the family when the kids, Jim Parsons and myself, the great Jim Parsons, are 12 and 14, and Phyllis, played by Jessica Lange,
Oh my gosh.
is, and then they track this family through the different apartments that they live in, the different struggles, the different adventures inside of these different apartments. And, you know, there are so many family plays. I think Glass Menagerie was a family play, you know, Long Day's Journey into Night. We have all of these American family plays, but so few of them, I guess with the exception of maybe like Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, so few of them are written by women. And so this experience of like what it is to watch a family, but from a woman's perspective, I think it's silly that it's such a fresh take, but it is. And I think, you know, just working on this, I have been we're in previews right now where, you know, we work all day. Paula comes in, she changes things. Tina, the director, Tina Landau, also has a lot of ideas about what we should be working on. And to watch Jessica Lange take all of that on. I was thinking, Jim and I were talking about this, I was like, she has 2 Academy Awards. She doesn't need to do a new play on Broadway. Like, it's so incredible to watch someone of her caliber, but also, you know, I've talked about this a lot, both Paula and Jessica and Tina are all women over 60. To be in a room with that sort of collective body of wisdom is very, very powerful to have proximity to.
But also inspiring, you know, on the longevity of a career, right? Yes,
and that her, thinking about Jessica, just the sort of rigor and the bravery, like what's being asked of her, I cannot, like, I don't want to give anything away, but I just think what she is doing in this, people, I can tell even when we come out on stage, people can't believe that they get to be so close to that kind of talent and genius. And it's really a very, very special experience. Also because the Helen Hayes Theater is one of the more intimate Broadway houses, so you're very close, and you get to really see her in a way that I think is different from her other Broadway experiences.
You know, it's called a play in 5 evictions. So what exactly does that mean?
Well, they get evicted from a lot of apartments for like different sort of rodent and bug infestations. So that's part of the evictions. And then the evictions also start to take on the ways that I think Phyllis, the mother, decides that she no longer wants these children in her life. And so it's like the children are also sort of evicted from these homes, but also from the family. And it's, you know, there are some, it's like all families, there's, you know, drama and hard things, but there's also a lot of humor and a lot of love. And I think it's been interesting with audiences, you know, even if people don't come from the sort of dysfunction that this family sort of operates inside of, I do think the play really works on the audience in a way of like forgiveness and acceptance from where we're from and how that shapes who we are.
Yeah.
So it has enormous resonance.
Can you talk specifically about your role and any kind of challenges that
Yeah.
you may have had?
Well, Paula Vogel had been talking to me about this play for a long time, and she said, you know, I'm writing something for you. And I thought, oh my God, this is so exciting. I can't believe Paula Vogel's gonna write a play for me. And then I got it, and I was basically playing Paula Vogel. And I was like, oh God, that's like such a huge responsibility. And, you know, I feel a big responsibility to Paula and to represent her. I'm actually not just Paula. She has another brother named Mark, and my character in the play is called Martha, and I'm named for Mark in the female version. And so I'm the sort of composite of the two of them, but I think, you know, I feel a real responsibility, first of all, just to tell Paula's story, but also to give her family the dignity and the presence that they deserve. And it's, you know, new plays are a big lift. Like, they're a big, hard thing to make, and I just can't say enough how collaborative and how, like, the spirit of making has been so alive in this process in a way that I think sometimes you can get very oriented towards, like, the product. And this one, I think, has just stayed alive. The creativity of it has really stayed alive.
I love hearing your passion about a play, because I feel like the musicals get all the, a play, it's hard work, and you're like drawn in when you're in the audience watching. It is powerful, so it's great to have you here.
Oh, it's so nice to be here. It's so, also, I think there are so many new pieces on Broadway this season, and the idea that you could go see a family play and then you go across the street, you could see Alicia Keys. Like, there's something for everyone right now.
I love it. Great to have you here, Celia.
It's so good to be here. Thank you.